The earliest culinary use of vanilla was probably in blended chocolate drinks. What we would think of today as hot chocolate originally was kind of a bitter, spicy thing, but vanilla helped a little bit to cancel out some of those bitter notes. This really cool book I have about chocolate mentions how real vanilla is never overpowering. It intensifies and tames all other flavors, coaxing them to behave in harmony. It masks other flavors, perhaps undesirable ones, which explains its indiscriminate use by some chocolate makers. I've got some whole beans, some whole cacao beans that I got from Ecuador. My first step is to pound this into as fine of a paste as I can. Very labor intensive, but it's gonna be worth it. So I would recommend, if you're interested in making this at home, use a grinder like this. Yeah, so lesson learned, unless you have some sort of stone grinder, you're probably not going to be able to get a fine paste from cacao bean. But let it never be said that I don't put in the effort to try to do something authentically when I can. First thing we're going to do is put 1.5 cups of water to simmer, add a nice stick of cinnamon. This is actually really nice. Authentic Ceylon cinnamon. So this cinnamon has been boiling for a couple of minutes. I'm also going to throw in a whole dried chili. This is actually from my garden. So the cinnamon and the chili pepper in there, we let simmer for 5 to 10 minutes. We'll add the vanilla bean in just for the last minute or two. Okay, scoop the chocolate into it. Ooh, that chocolate smell's really coming through. Please strain this out. I've got some honey here to add if I need it, but I'm going to try it without first. Now, this isn't done yet. They froth a chocolate drink by pouring it back and forth at great heights in between containers. Now, I also know from my research that the original hot chocolate was often served cold, actually. So I'm going to take half of this and put it in the fridge to chill out for a bit. Okay, and there you have it. Somewhat authentic-ish original Aztec Mexican drinking chocolate. Okay, it's not nearly as bitter as I thought it was going to be. That's good. As it's going down the throat, I can feel the hint of the spiciness from the pepper, but it's not overwhelming. And it's got to be the vanilla that lends some warmth to it. Out of curiosity, though, I do want to add a touch more pepper to it. Whew, now that's... It's not an alcohol burn in the throat, but it's definitely strong. Whew. All that bitterness from the cacao actually does work with it. So I've actually cheated here just by adding some ice cubes, so it's already chilled. It takes some of the intensity of the bitterness off. Still a very pleasant texture. How do I end this video? Shoot, I never think about the endings to my videos. Now, this isn't something I drink every day, but I'm glad I tried it. It really gives me some perspective that I wouldn't have otherwise.